Hello, everyone. Okay, we are live. We are checking to make sure that we're live on my phone so I can see your comments. And there I am. All right, very good. Very good. Okay, so when you're jumping on, please come on and say hello. Let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're from. If you have any questions, you don't have to wait until the end of the presentation. Just go ahead and put them in the comments. This way, if I can get to them while I'm on the live, great, I'm going to answer them. And if not, that's fine. I'll get to that later when I'll answer them all because I still get the notifications when people comment on the post. And listen, if you didn't get an email from me last night with the day one workshop, and you registered, send me a message with your email address and I'll just add you to the list. So the way that I get your email to send you the recordings is when you register for the workshop on the website. But if you don't know how or you're having problems with it, just send me your email address. So welcome to day 2 of the Path to Healing workshop. Yesterday, we talked about where the symptoms are coming from, why you're sick. Now we're going to give you the energy to actually do the protocol, right? So that you can continue on the healing process. And I was just reminded of an analogy that I really like to use about how our brain works. So yesterday's homework, I had asked you what was the biggest takeaway that you had learned. And it was wonderful. Everything it was absolutely wonderful. The reason why I ask you to do that is because when we're thinking it, right, and we write it down, it does something inside of our brains. It kind of solidifies it and it gives us a target. Just like, this is just how the brain works. Like, here's an easy analogy to understand what goes on in the brain when we have a target. I was just putting on my necklace and I was doing it with a Band-Aid on my finger. So I couldn't get the clasp to hook. So what did I do? I brought it, I looked at it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was able to do it. Why was I able to do it? I didn't all of a sudden have eyes in the back of my head. No, because my brain went, oh, there's the target. Got it. And then when I put it on again, it went right in. That's how the brain works. It needs a target. Now you know exactly why you're sick. And now we're going to talk about what to do about it, give you the energy so that you can keep going on with the protocol. I see people are signing on right here. Oh, this is wonderful. Okay, good. Good. Oh, hi, Tracy. How are you? Natalie and Joanne. Oh, good morning from Arizona. I bet it's nice out there. We are having a nice day out here today, which is why the hair is down and not, it's always back, but with no humidity, nice. I love the weather out there in Arizona, though, because it's always nice and dry. There's always a good hair day. Hey, Quinn. Hey, Sheila, Keisha, Alicia, Chrissy. All right, we're all signing on. Amy, good morning. She says, happy Tuesday, everybody. All right, I'm excited about today because I'm hoping you learn the way I learn. I have to see it and I have to understand it. I'm a visual learner. So as long as I can understand and visually see what's going on, then I can understand it. And then that affects my choices. So today we're giving you the energy. So there is a simple routine. Good morning from San Diego. Oh, another place with great weather. That's awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for signing on and saying hello. So there is a simple morning routine, and yes, it comes from the medical medium, and it is very simple, but there's a way to do it so that you don't overwhelm your body and you actually get that clarity and that the energy that we need. And most people feel something right away, like right away. But we're going to discuss all the things that you might feel so that you're prepared for it. All right. So in order to start eliminating the brain fog right away and start getting that energy, we need to bring down the viral load. Not only do we need to bring down the viral load, but we need to make sure that our detox process is working so that as we're killing the virus, we're not being overwhelmed by the die-off, the dead virus, the corpse of the virus, because the corpse of the virus is actually a neurotoxin. It's a neurotoxin, it's a dermatoxin, and we don't want to make ourselves even more tired and more fatigued in the brain, the brain fog. We want to lessen those effects. So even though the protocol is called Starve, Kill, Detox, we're always starting with the detox process because we got to get that system going first. So then as we start killing off the virus, we're already detoxing it out of our body. So our bodies have a natural detoxing and elimination process already set up. But like we talked about yesterday, the onslaught of chemicals that are happening in this world and the lack of nutrients that are in our food today are creating a situation in our livers that our liver is sluggish and it can't keep up. It just can't keep up. So we have to give it the help that it needs. And there's a very simple way to do it. Right before we get into how to do it, I want to explain a little bit about how the liver works. Because again, if you understand how the liver works, then you can better know how to help it along the way and give it what it needs. So the liver wakes up before you do. It wakes up a couple hours before you wake up in the morning. It's usually around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, depending on your sleep patterns. So the reason why it wants to wake up and get to work before you get up is because it needs you to not eat anything to stop its process. Because once you start eating something, a protein, a grain, or a fat, the liver goes, oh, okay, stop with the detoxing. I need to go process all of this stuff and make sure we're grabbing nutrients and bringing them where they need to go. That's what your liver does. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, your liver wakes up and it goes, okay, she's sleeping. Let me start pulling out all the toxins while I don't have to digest anything, while I don't have to put nutrients where they need to go. Let me pull out all the toxins so that when she wakes up, she pees them out. That's why your morning urine is the darkest. That's why any test that you're taking, they always want the first morning urine because that's going to be the most concentrated. That's going to give a good picture of what's in your body. So your liver wakes up, it pulls everything out. When you get up to go to the bathroom, or the first time you go to the bathroom in the morning, your body flushes out what it can based on the amount of water you have in your body. Now, you didn't drink anything from the night before, right? So you don't have a ton of water, but your body utilizes whatever it can to push out those toxins. Whatever it doesn't push out, whatever it doesn't have enough liquid water to use to push out those toxins, it has to reabsorb all of those toxins again and then start over the next morning, right? So what we want to do is hydrate the body first thing in the morning in a very specific way, and I'll tell you how in a second. We want to hydrate the body first thing in the morning to push out even more of those toxins so that your body doesn't have to reabsorb them and then start over the next day. Again, with the visuals, think about it this way. Think about if you had a cleaning person come to your house every day, right? How nice. I would just settle for once a month right now. So let's say the cleaning person came every single day, but they could only stay for 30 minutes, right? So they come in, they do the dishes, maybe wipe down the counters and maybe vacuum something, okay? And then when they leave, you put more dishes in the sink, you dirty up the counters, and there's just a mess everywhere. So when they come in the next day, they're, okay, let's do the dishes, let's wipe down the counters, and, let me vacuum another room. Now, let's say every day that cleaning person left, you kept the dishes out of the sink, you kept the counters clean, and you cleaned up a little bit more than you normally would. When they came back the next day, they'd be like, oh, the dishes are done, the counters are clean. Okay, you know what? Let me go finish up vacuuming the rest of the rooms. Oh, you know what? Let me dust. And then you stay on top of the dusting. You stay on top of what they did that day. The next day they come back, everything's done, right? What they did the day before, plus the little bit that you did. Now they're like, I'm going to tackle a bathroom. Let me go scrub a tub. Let me go scrub the mold off the tile, right? Let me get into those closets. And every day they're able to get further and further along. And eventually their freaking house is clean. How nice would that be? So that's exactly what your liver's doing. Your liver's waking up every day at 3 o'clock and going, oh, she put more toxins in. Okay, let me pull them out again. Pee them out. Oh, she put more toxins in. Let me pee them out. So how can you help your body? How can you maintain the cleanliness that the cleaning lady just did, right? How can you maintain what your liver just did? There's a very simple way. It's not just water in the morning, it's lemon water. So first thing in the morning when you wake up, this is part of the protocol. This is module 1 in the protocol. So today starts what we're doing with the protocol for the rest of the week. So module 1 in the protocol is the first thing that you do. It doesn't matter what time you wake up. Timing's not important. It's just the first thing you put inside your body is going to be about 16 ounces of lemon water, a half a lemon squeezed into 16 ounces of water. It doesn't really matter the temperature. You just don't want it hot. You don't want it boiling. You don't want to, kill the enzymes in the lemon, because the reason why the lemon is so important is because the water that we drink today is dead. It's completely dead. It doesn't have any life force in it like it used to. When we used to drink from streams and rivers and water was clean and we could do that, our water is filtered and it has nothing left in it. So when we add the water, it brings the life force. Well, great. What does the life force do? Well, normally when we drink the water, it goes in this hole and it goes all the way down through this tube, all the way down to the other end and where it comes out. When you add lemon or lime, they both work the same. When you add lemon or lime to your water, what that allows the water to do now is not go through this tube right here, the tube that runs from here all the way down. It now hits the inside of your gut lining and gets absorbed through the lining of your gut and into your organs, and it hydrates your entire body. It hydrates your organs, when it's normally you drink the water and it goes right out. Now, you're going to start drinking this water and you're going to be going to the bathroom and you're going to be like, Janine, it's really pointless for me to be drinking this water because I feel like I'm peeing out more than I'm actually even drinking. I don't feel like it's doing anything for me. And that's a great point. So what happens in a desert? Picture a dry, cracked desert floor. You take a gallon of water, let's say lemon water, and you pour it on top of that dry, cracked floor. Picture what's going to happen to the water. It's going to beat up. It's going to sit on the surface, and it's going to be a little while before it gets absorbed if it doesn't run off first and just run off and evaporate, and it never gets into the ground. Now, say you took that gallon of water every day and you did this and you did this and you did this. It would eventually seep in until the ground was wet. When the ground is wet, you take that gallon of water, you pour it on top, and it soaks right through, right? Soaks right through. It gets in all the surfaces, all the lower surfaces of the ground. That's exactly what's happening inside of your body. So I don't know how long it's going to take. I would say the longest it's going to take for your body to start absorbing it, if you're super dehydrated and not used to drinking any water, then you would take probably about 2 weeks. But for the average person, it's a couple days before that water starts. If you're not used to drinking water in the morning, it's going to take a while for that to get through. Now, some people don't drink any water in a day. A lot of people that I've talked to say that they start with coffee and they drink coffee all day long, and maybe they'll have a soda, and then maybe they'll have a glass of wine at night. And as lovely as that sounds, we're not doing our bodies any good by doing that. And who couldn't live on coffee and wine? Am I right? I totally could, but eventually we would feel like shit. And so when I talk to some of these people during the consultations, I'm like, before we get started on the protocol, let's just start with eliminating like a few of those cups of coffee and maybe a few of those glasses of wine, and start with some water and then see how, and it's amazing how much better they feel just from that alone. So we want to help out our liver by starting to allow or help our liver push out more toxins than it would by itself if we didn't drink the water. So first thing in the morning, 16 ounces of water, a half a lemon or a lime. Lemons and limes work the same way. So you could add stuff to it, like in the winter when I want the water warm, waking up in the middle of the winter when it's cold outside and you put your robe on, the last thing you want to do is drink cold water. It's awful, actually. For me, it is. So I do warm up the water and put it in a mug, and I put my lemon in it, and I put a bit of raw honey in it, not the fake honey, do the real honey. I do the raw honey. You could put a little ginger in it if you want to, though that's a little strong in the morning. But these are the things that you can do to make it nicer. We never, in any part of this protocol, want to say you have to do this and you have to be miserable. No, every single part of this protocol, you're going to see when we talk about the foods to eat, it's all about the comfort foods. It's all about pizza and ice cream and all of those things that, you know what, we just freaking need sometimes. So don't make yourself miserable and drink cold water first thing in the morning in the cold climates. Warm it up. Don't boil it. You want the live enzymes in the lemon to survive, but make sure that you're comfortable with it. It's what you want to drink and that you look forward to it, because eventually you are going to look forward to it. You're going to crave it. And I know you're asking me right now, you're like, or maybe you're saying, Janine, you're insane. I wake up and I crave a cup of coffee. I hear you. There are going to be those mornings where you wake up and you're like, you know what? I don't fucking care. Excuse me. I don't freaking care. I just want my cup of coffee. Do it. Do it. There are going to be times I try to get, at least, especially on Sundays, my husband and I, when it's nice out like now, we wake up on Sundays and we like to walk to the diner. And I don't want to drink a cold glass of water before I go to the diner. I just want to go to the diner and I want to drink my coffee. So what I do is I try to get like just a couple sips. I'm like, all right, let me just get a couple sips. I got the lemon water. I got the lemon in there, a couple sips while we're walking to the diner. And then I drink my coffee. So like I said, we're going to talk later in this presentation about peaks and valleys and taking breaks and when to take breaks. So, all right, 15 minutes I spent on lemon water. Let me move on. So the next part, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Erica says, I need water in my life. I usually add lemon. Good. I'll be more consistent. I'll start adding ginger. I love ginger. Yeah, I really do too, especially at night, right? A hot cup of something with, let's say, water, lemon, ginger. What else do I add? Honey. Like that's really nice. But yeah, everyone needs more water in your life. And sometimes you're on a really great kick and you're drinking 4 of these a day. That rarely happens, by the way. This is 32 ounces. I'm lucky if I finish the third one. So I start my morning with my red cup. It's like 20 ounces and I fill it. I drink that down. And then I do step 2, which we're going to talk about right now, which is the celery juice. And then, but while I'm squeezing the lemon for my 16 ounces of water in my red cup, my big Tupperware plastic red cup, I also squeeze the lemon into this and I make one of these. And then I put an extra, I don't have one, a little like glass cup, and I'll squeeze a half a lemon into the little glass cup and stick it in the fridge. This way, when I need to refill this, I've already got the lemon squeezed. So this is going to sound like a lot. This week is going to be like, are you insane? I can't do all these things. Nobody can. No one can. It's an evolution, and you go, okay, you know what? This week or this month, I'm going to work on doing this, and then I'm going to work on adding this in, and then adding that in. Again, the reason why the coaching program is 4 months long is because what I'm about to teach you in this week is what we spend 4 months doing. We spend a month on lemon water and celery juice, mitigating the side effects, when to stop, when to start, what are you feeling, what are your side effects? Oh, you felt this? Great, I felt that a couple days ago. It takes months. So give yourself a break. Do not get overwhelmed. You're going to write all this stuff down, or you can buy the protocol. Actually, you can buy the protocol. I forgot what I priced it. I want to say like $125 maybe. Because my husband's like, Janine, what about for the introverts like me who don't want to get on a Zoom 3 days a week with you? And I go, what do you mean? He's like, what if I had MS and I needed to heal? I'm an introvert. The last thing I want to do is get on Zoom. I was like, oh. Well, you have the Live at Fives every week. All that information, it's everything that I talk about this week is in the Live at Fives, and I talk about it on a rotation. So every Wednesday is more of this information. And he's like, I don't have time to watch 8 hours of videos just to get what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, so that's where the idea came up, to just sell the protocol by itself for a very small amount. And then this way you have the entire protocol, you have me talking in a video, and then you have the text and the audio, because the text is a lot. And when you haven't gotten rid of the brain fog yet and you're trying to read, you get like 3 lines in and you're like, all right, I'm done. So what you could do is there's an audio file for each one. You could just put your headphones in and I will read you the PDFs. I will read it to you. So you've got a video, a text, like a PDF, and an audio file for every module. And there's 4 modules. And it goes over everything that we're talking about this week. I want to get to the step 2 in a second. So that's available. It's on the website under the enrollment. So you could buy the protocol only and be like, you know what? I'm doing this by myself. Great. But when you're doing it by yourself, remember, you have to take breaks. We're going to get there in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So, don't think it can be T2. Yeah, no, unfortunately, it can't be T2. I think it must be straight lemon juice. Well, straight lemon water. Yeah. So a half a lemon or a half a lime or however much you need to taste it, right? You want to taste it. Yeah, first thing in the morning. Don't do the tea though. Even if it's herbal, just do the straight lemon water in the morning. If you want to add a little honey to that lemon water in the morning, you can do that too. I started to juice lemons and save. I use 1 ounce of this juice each morning. Yeah, it's not perfect. Squeeze them, save it, put it in the fridge, and just anything to do to make it easier. And any tips and tricks that you guys have that really work for you, please put them in Minding Your Soul so that everybody can learn from it, because this whole process is about finding the little tips and tricks to make life easier, because we're adding a lot to life right now, just while you're healing. Okay. All right. I'm getting ahead. Okay. So step 2, you do the lemon water first thing in the morning. After that, wait about 20 minutes. You want that water to have some time to get in and do its thing. So wait about 20 minutes. And then you're going to drink 16 ounces of, yes, the celery juice. 16 ounces of celery juice is the goal. If you want to drink more, great. What I recommend, depending on the symptoms that you have, depending on if you're bedridden, If you are riddled with symptoms, like when I was paralyzed in bed and someone told me to drink 16 ounces of lemon water after 16 ounces of 16 ounces of celery juice after 16 ounces of lemon water, I would have been like, yeah, there's no freaking way. And if I had drank that 16 ounces, it would have taken me down so far. So depending on where you are in your symptoms, how bad they are, you're going to want to start slow with the celery juice. And we're going to talk about why in a second. Start with a couple ounces and see how you do. Because it sounds very simple, right? It's just celery juice. I'm just going to drink the 16 ounces. I wouldn't do that. And if you do that, make sure you're home and make sure you're near the bathroom. Because what celery juice does, not only does it speed up your digestion, but celery juice kills the Epstein-Barr virus on contact. It also kills the Streptococcus virus on contact. That's how I was able to have strep throat Friday with a fever and be able to talk and be fine and have no white marks on my throat anymore today. I had celery juice twice a day, 32 ounces a day. No, that's not fun. It's actually quite awful. And I like celery juice, but 32 ounces a day, that's a lot. And it starts to wear on you. So, but anyway, but it works. So we need to mitigate the side effects of the celery juice. Because the celery juice kills the Epstein-Barr virus and the Streptococcus virus on contact, you are going to overwhelm your system with the die-off if you go too fast. The die-off, remember, the corpse of the dead virus is also a neurotoxin. It's going to lead to brain fog. And what we're trying to do is get rid of the brain fog and bring down the viral load. So why do some people get diarrhea and why do some people don't? Let's first start off with, why do you get diarrhea? If your Epstein-Barr virus is in the lining of your gut, when you drink the celery juice and the celery juice comes in contact with that virus in the lining of your gut, and I'm pointing here, this tube that runs here all the way down to the other end that comes out, if your virus is in that gut lining and you drink the celery juice and it kills it on contact, it creates such a toxic load of dead virus. Your body goes, holy shit, get this out of me immediately. And because it has an immediate exit, it literally has a light at the end of the tunnel. That's what it uses. And you evacuate. And when I tell you evacuate, the first time I did this, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe I did this. The only saving grace is, the only upside to this is that normally, when we associate that kind of diarrhea, when we think about that kind of diarrhea, we associate it with cramping in our stomach, a nauseous feeling, right? Because usually when we have that kind of diarrhea, it's from probably something we ate that your body's like, get it out of me now. And it's like food poisoning. The celery juice diarrhea is completely different from the diarrhea that we're used to in our past. There is no cramping. There is no nausea. You do feel and hear the gurgling in your stomach and you're like, oh, I need to get to the bathroom immediately. And for the people who are not mobile, for the people who it takes a while to get to the bathroom, what I recommend, especially for the clients that I've worked with in the past, drink it next to the bathroom, drink it in the bathroom, because it does work that quickly, especially if it's your first time. It might not, but if it does, you want to try to avoid any accidents because that's not fun for anybody. And that has happened to me, and it's happened to a lot of people that I know. It just comes out. Now, you do have some time. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to prepare you for what could happen. It's not very common that happens. The diarrhea, yes, it does happen, but it's kind of like a gurgle that goes on in your stomach and you're like, I'm going to go to the bathroom and see what happens. And then it happens. Now, if you don't get the diarrhea, that doesn't mean, oh, I don't have the virus. Remember yesterday when I told you the virus moves. It moves out of your bloodstream and into an organ. This is an organ right here. Your intestinal tract is an organ. So sometimes it's in there. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's only residing in the liver or the kidneys or the bladder or, those organs. So if you drink the celery juice and you're not getting any kind of diarrhea or any feeling from it, I don't want you to think, oh, it's not working. It absolutely is working. It can't not work. It's in your body. It's killing the virus inside the organs, outside of the intestinal tract. When the virus is killed inside the organs, it doesn't have a light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't have an immediate exit, like at the end of your intestinal tract. It doesn't have an immediate exit. So it has to use the normal excretory system. It uses your pee and your poop, and that's how the dead virus comes out. I remember when my husband had COVID, the first time, well, I guess that's 2 years ago now, I gave him the celery juice twice a day, and he goes, "Janine, it's as if I could see the virus in the toilet." He's like, "This is the most god awful like situation going on in there." Wasn't painful, but he had drank celery juice before. Nothing happened. While he was on COVID, I gave it to him twice a day, and it was a disgusting mess that was in the toilet. I'm sorry. I know it's graphic, but we have to talk about this because if you're going to do it, you need to know what to expect. And if it doesn't happen, great, but at least you're prepared for when it does happen. You don't stand up, turn around, look in the toilet and go, "Holy shit, I'm dying." No, it's actually a really good thing when all of that comes out. It's going to look like gross because all of this crap literally is coming out of your body, all of that dead virus. So there's a way to do it so that we can try to mitigate the side effects. Yes, the one thing is to build up to it. You build up to the 16 ounces. You start off slow, you see how it affects you, and then you keep going. Joanne says definitely. Okay. I don't want the comments to go too far and me miss any important ones. Does the celery juice have to be fresh? Oh, can we get it from Whole Foods? The celery juice has to be drank within 24 hours of making it. So you can you can make it, one morning, make it for 2 days, right? Put one of them in the refrigerator and then drink it the next morning. You can absolutely do that. It's fine. You might notice a slight difference in the taste. I don't really like it the next morning. I feel like it's lost something. But according to the medical medium, you drink it within 24 hours and you are fine. If you remove, here's where all the tips and tricks come in. If you remove the stems, you're going to give it a much sweeter taste. The stems are what make it bitter. So you remove the base, you remove the stems, you juice it. That's a pain in the ass. You're doing this every day. Or actually, we're going to talk about that in a second, how often to do it. It's a pain in the ass to do that. So if you have something like a BJ's, a Sam's Club, a Costco, I forgot to bring down my visual aids. They sell a 2.5 pound bag of pre-washed. It actually says triple washed celery, and it's just the ribs. The base is already removed and the stems are already removed. It couldn't be any easier. And it's got a perforated top, right? So you pull the perforated top off, you open it up, you take the ribs, and it takes me, for my crappy old juicer, 2.5 pounds to produce the 16 ounces. A lot of people have better juicers, and it takes a lot less than 2.5 pounds of celery to produce 16 ounces. So what I always tell people is like, starting is the most important thing. I didn't want to go out when I first started this in 2015 and get myself a $300 juicer because I'm like, I don't even know, if this is going to make a difference, and I don't juice. So I'm only going to be using it for the celery. That juicer, I swear, I said, as soon as this thing dies, I'm going to replace it. It hasn't died yet. It's 2022. Now, do I juice it every day? God, no. No one can do that. No one should do that, first of all, especially in the beginning. When it's getting hot in here. I shouldn't drink my coffee. And that's what we're going to talk about too, coffee. I have it on my list. When you start, where was I going with the celery? Oh, crap. I lost my train of thought because right away I got into... Okay, so when you get started juicing, just get any juicer that you can afford and start juicing. You are going to do this, I wouldn't say 7 days a week. I know the people who are in this group. You guys, there's so many of you that are like me, if not all of you, I feel like are just like me. You're like balls to the wall. You're like, I'm doing it all. This is what's going to kill EBV. I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything. I'm going to do it 7 days a week, and I'm not going to take a break, and I'm going to heal quickly. And I did the same thing. And don't do that. Please don't do that. In order to heal faster, you actually have to go slower in the process. And I know that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to my ego. I hate listening to people tell me that I have to take a break, but you really do have to, because you can overwhelm your body. So how do you know when to take a break? Well, there's a couple things. When you first get started and you have the diarrhea, you can't have diarrhea every freaking day. We're just going to say it. Your butthole can't take it. It's too much. It becomes raw. You can't do that to yourself. So as soon as you start feeling discomfort down there, stop. Let it heal. I'm telling you, there's not enough gold bonds in the world to handle diarrhea all the time. So I know for you people who are just signing on, I just saw the numbers go up, and here we are talking about diarrhea and buttholes and gold bonds. I'm sorry, but this is the stuff that we have to talk about. You have to know what to expect going forward. So you're not going to do it 7 days a week. First of all, it's not good for the skin down there. But even if you don't have diarrhea, let's say Janine, I don't get diarrhea. I can do it 7 days a week. Okay, but let's talk about the fatigue level and when to take breaks. So I have done videos on this in the past. They're all on YouTube, on the Minding Your Soul YouTube channel. So if you want a more in-depth explanation, watch those videos. Slow down to go faster, mitigating the peaks and the valleys, or understanding peaks and valleys. So I always say, let's say your energy level is here. No matter what this measurement is, let's just say it's here. And you start doing the lemon water and the celery juice. And it's been a couple days and you're like, all right, well, I don't have any diarrhea, so I'm just going to keep on going. But what you're finding is that your fatigue level is going down. We want the fatigue level. No, I'm sorry. Your exhaustion, right? You're getting more tired and more tired. The exhaustion level is like, you really like you're detoxing, you're exhausted. And you're wondering, am I getting worse? Why am I getting more tired? It's because your body takes a lot of energy to remove those toxins that the celery juice just killed. Now you have a ton of dead virus in there that your body has to get rid of. And because it's not using the light at the end of the tunnel and it's using your excretory system, there's a lot of resources and energy that takes. So your energy is here and you start doing the celery juice and you start feeling your energy level decline. I want you to stop. As soon as you start feeling your energy level decline, let your body, and it doesn't matter if it's 1 day, 3 days, 4 days, you decide, and only you can decide. I can't help you. If you ask me, I'm going to say, what's your fatigue level like? And we're going to go off of this gauge right here. So your energy level is here when you start. You start drinking celery juice. Maybe it's been a day, maybe it's been 3 days, and you feel your energy level going down just slightly where you're like, wow, I'm more tired than I used to be. I used to get tired a lot later in the day. That's when you stop. When you stop, you allow your body to recover. And when it recovers, it comes up higher. Your baseline is now higher than when you started the celery juice. Once you're feeling back to normal and a little bit better, you go, okay, it's time to start again. And you start the celery juice again. And day goes by, 2 days go by, maybe 3 days go by. It's going to be different for everybody, guys. Then you stop. Energy level has gone down. Okay, time to stop, let my body heal. And then you recover. And when you recover, the baseline of your energy goes up higher than it was before. That's how healing works. You go into what I call a valley, and then you go into a peak, and then you go into a valley, and then you go into a peak. And those peaks get higher and higher. Now, it's slight in the beginning. We haven't talked about anything except lemon water and celery juice. Now, when you're taking a break, don't take a break from the lemon water. Some people want to, and if you feel like you want to take a break from the lemon water and see what that does, then do that. But it's the celery juice that's killing the virus on contact that is causing your body to feel tired as it detoxes it out. And now that you know what to expect from the celery juice, now when you start getting tired and maybe even a little bit tingly, because remember that dead virus is a neurotoxin, right? So you're going to feel a little bit more tingly. You're going to feel a little bit more numbness, and your brain's going to go, holy shit, I'm getting worse. What are you doing? You're making yourself sick. And then you're going to go, hold on. I remember this. These are detox symptoms. I'm killing the virus. The dead virus is floating around my body and I got to get it out. So you're going to stop the celery juice, continue with the lemon water because that's going to help flush it out. Not only the lemon water in the morning, but the lemon water all day long. Anytime you drink, make sure you got that lemon water in. And listen, if you want to have a seltzer, right? Because you're sick of lemon water, do it. Absolutely do it. So what I'm telling you is, you want more lemon water than anything else that you're drinking during the day, especially while you're healing your symptoms. Once your symptoms are healed, that's when I usually say, you can do what you want to do, right? To a point. I still drink the lemon water all day long because now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, this feels really good. Why would I drink anything else? You're going to see how easy this is because once your body knows how something makes it feel, it starts to crave it. Right now, you're not craving lemon water. Right now, it's like a friggin' job that you got to take on and drink the goddamn lemon water every day and then juice the celery, drink the celery, and it's a pain in the ass. When you start feeling the effects, when you start feeling that more energy and that clarity, and that's usually the first thing to go is that brain fog just clears out and people start going, oh my God, I cannot believe it's like the filters were taken off of my eyes and I can see clearly. My eyes are no longer crossing. For me, that's what it was. When I would feel dizzy, which was all the time, every day, First of all, yeah, you're confused, right? You can't carry a thought. You're stop in the middle of sentences. You're like, what the hell was I talking about? Making a peanut butter jelly sandwich for me was over the top, completely overwhelming between the spoon and the knife and the peanut butter and shit. I forgot to get this. And then, oh, I got to sit down and take a break. All right, I need the bread. All right, let's go get the bread. It was too friggin' much. Once you start feeling like you can do things again and you can think straight, you're going to want to do this. Your body is going to crave it. So getting started with any new process in the morning sucks. It really does. But once you incorporate this and you make it just a regular part of your morning a couple times a week, then, and you start feeling the effects, then you're going to wake up and you're going to be like, let me get that lemon water. Let me get that freaking celery juice, because you know how good it makes you feel and you look forward to it and you get that ball rolling. So how often should you do the celery juice? It's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to you and the fatigue level. You kind of mitigate the fatigue level and go, okay, I don't want you to dip too far down. I don't want you to think the further in the valley I go, the higher the peak. That's actually the opposite of how it works. This is what I found for myself, and this is what I found for clients. The smaller the valleys, the more peaks you're going to get, the more often the peaks are going to happen and the peaks are going to start getting higher. Think about it. If you go too far down into a valley, it's going to take you so much time and so much effort for your body to come back up that the baseline is barely raised, because it just took everything to recover. Maybe it took 2 weeks to recover. You never want to take 2 weeks to recover. You don't want to do that to your body. So what you want to do is get into a very small, once you know you're in that valley, all right, stop, and then come back up again. Go back into the valley, stop, come back up again. Do not go too far into those valleys. So don't go, I'm going to power through. No, because in that valley, it is so hard to get out of. And a lot of people don't have support. A lot of people are doing this by themselves. And even if you do have husbands and kids, they're out of the house, or they're just not as helpful as you want them to be. No matter what level of support you have, you can do this. Don't go too far down into the valley, and the peaks, I promise you, are going to be closer together and higher. The lower you go into that valley, I know I'm harping on this, but the lower you go into that valley, the longer it's going to take you to come back up. Okay, I know. I think I made my point. I just want to make sure. It's so important to understand the peaks and the valleys. And I think we have some questions going on here. Oh, Joanne just bought a new MM900 juicer. All right, let me know how that goes, because 2.5 pounds of celery from me, I get 16 to 20 ounces of juice. And when I talk to people who have a really good juicer, they're like, Janine, that's insane. They get so much more. So let me know how that works. Kimberly says, can you take your medication with the lemon juice? I don't know about medication, and I really can't comment on medication. So for everyone who's on here, I have disclaimers everywhere on my website, everywhere, basically saying, don't listen to a thing Janine has to say. She's not certified in anything. She's not a doctor. I have to take that seriously, because I cannot tell people what to do with medication. That being said, if it were me, no, I would take the lemon water and then I would do the celery juice, because you want to do that on an empty stomach. And then whatever you do need to take, I would do that later, after. Oh, okay. We're going to talk about coffee too. Yes, we're going to talk. Let me just go back into, how does celery juice work with IBS? That's a great question, because I have a guinea pig. My mother, she had IBS for so long. And so I put her on this protocol. She fought me for years, and then she finally did it. And she said, Janine, for the first time, these were her exact words, for the first time, I don't feel like a stomach. I said, what do you mean? She goes, I walk around this earth feeling like my entire body is my stomach. I'm ruled by my stomach. She goes, for the first time, I don't. So yes, she had the diarrhea. Yes, she friggin' hated it. She didn't take the breaks like she was supposed to. So, but listen, take your breaks, take it slow. If you're concerned, if you have IBS and you're concerned, you're like, listen, if I put the wrong thing in there, you're telling me it's going to cause diarrhea. I already have diarrhea. Take it slow. And then when I say take it slow, I mean 3 ounces. Start with 3 ounces. See how you do. Nothing? Okay, great. The next day or the next time you do it, 4 ounces, 5 ounces. I'm telling you to take it that slow. This isn't a race. You didn't get sick overnight, right? We're all trying to heal a lot quicker. I get that. But we don't want to do it so fast that we overwhelm our bodies and we lose steam, we lose motivation. We want to do this in the most comfortable, natural way for our bodies. We're trying to help our bodies, not hurt it even more, right? By forcing this stuff into our bodies. Yes, it's good for our body, but too much of a good thing in the beginning is really hard. Like say you met this really awesome guy and he's awesome. I mean, and you can't wait for that second date. And on that second date, he's like, will you marry me? Dude, yeah, you're awesome, but that is way too much too soon. You see what I mean? I know, I love those guy analogies. Okay, so I read that one and let me just make sure I don't have anyone. Okay, Sarah says, fatigue and a few lymph nodes got even more swollen and I feel very run down, so I'm taking a break. Okay, perfect. So those lymph nodes, right? Those are the centers. You have a whole network of your lymphatic veins, and that carry the lymphatic fluid. The lymphatic fluid, like what is that? First of all, it doesn't have a pump. Like your heart pumps the blood through your veins. The lymphatic fluid doesn't have a pump. It's up to you to move it faster. The more hydrated you are, the more it's going to move. So what the hell is lymph? Like what is that fluid? So every process in our body, every organ, everything that happens is based on cells. Those cells, all cells produce waste matter, all of them. Just the process of operating, they produce waste matter. That waste matter has to be carried out of your body, like waste management, like the garbage systems. The lymphatic fluid carries waste out of your body. So when you've got your swollen lymph nodes, which there's a bunch of nodes that are running here, where like a node is like a center where all the lymph veins kind of run into and like get redirected elsewhere. When they get swollen, that's because they've got too many toxins in there and they're not flushing through because a couple of veins just brought them a shit ton of garbage, right? And it can't flush it through. And we don't have a pump. So if you can go for a walk, get that body moving and drink more lemon water. And as you drink the celery juice, yes, the celery juice is going to kill the virus on contact and it's going to use the lymphatic system, but the celery juice does so many other things besides killing it on contact. The celery juice flushes everything out. So it flushes out your lymphatic system. It gets into the very deep layers of your liver that nothing else gets into and flushes out the dead virus from there. You're doing so much flushing out and killing at the same time with the celery juice. So this is the detox process that I talk about in this protocol. Starve, kill, detox. The detox part of it is the lemon water and the celery juice, but the celery juice does so much more than detox it out. It actually kills on contact too. So every part of this protocol, it is a targeted attack to kill the virus and flush it out of your body. Okay, that's the whole premise. Now that we know what we're killing, now we know how to do it. So you're like, all right, I got to kill this virus. Well, what is the virus like? We talk about the foods that it likes. We talk about how to kill it with your immune system and what foods not to eat. The celery juice kills it on contact. So you're bringing down the viral load. We're doing so many things with the starve, kill, detox. You're bringing down the viral load by killing it on contact with the celery juice. You're also starving the virus itself by not giving it the gluten, the dairy, and the eggs. And then we're flushing out the heavy metals. We're going to talk about heavy metal smoothie in just a couple seconds. So that the viral load is going down. As the viral load is going down, there's still some virus that's alive, but it's weakened and it can't produce that smoke screen. So once that smoke screen can't be produced, your immune system can see it. So virus, here's your immune system, and your immune system is like, I've been looking for you for decades, fucker, now you're gonna die. And now it kills it, and you're flushing it out of your body every day with that lemon water and the celery juice. So you see how the starve, kill, detox, it all works together, which is why when I talk to people and they're like, oh, I've tried that, and I've tried that, and I've tried that, and it didn't work, I always ask, did you try it at the same time? It's a targeted attack. You can't just remove gluten and think that you're going to start healing. It's a targeted attack. So the lemon water, wait 20 minutes. The celery juice, wait 20 minutes. Let me just write something down so I don't forget to talk about it. Now you have a choice. Detox smoothie. All right, so now you have a choice. You've had your celery juice. Now you're like, well, when the hell does my coffee come? If you drink coffee, which I think most of us do, I do. Sometimes I don't. When I'm pregnant, I don't. When I'm on a really good health kick, I don't drink coffee and I'm doing good. I have a 6-month-old. I drink a lot of coffee. I drink way too much coffee. Now, coffee isn't terrible for you. It's not. It's full of antioxidants, but the shit that we do to it, we make it so toxic. So there's a way to drink coffee so that you're not bringing those toxins in your body every single day. Because I want you to understand, go back to the first thing that we talked about, go back to the liver. The liver wakes up every day, pulls the toxins out and pushes them out with your first morning urine, right? Whatever it doesn't push out, it's got to reabsorb and then start over the next day. All right, now fast forward to the coffee. The coffee crop is the most heavily covered crop in pesticides. I think we already know that. Most heavily covered crop. If you're not drinking organic coffee, you are drinking all of those pesticides and all of those chemicals every day. And how many cups are you drinking? Because I'm drinking 2 in the morning and then 1 in the afternoon. Yeah, I know I'm bad. It's 3. I don't recommend that. Don't do 3 cups of coffee a day. But that's what I'm up to now. It's got to be organic, because think about it. Your liver just did all of this work. You just did all of this work with the lemon water and the celery juice to get it out, right? Now you take 2 cups of chemicals and pesticides. Yes, it's friggin' delicious chemicals and pesticides, but it's chemicals and pesticides, and you drink it down. You just doused your body with all of those chemicals and all of those pesticides that there's no way your liver can get them out all at one shot. So what happens? Next morning, your liver's like, are you fucking kidding me? Now there's even more. I'm never getting ahead. We want to help the liver get ahead and flush, because once the liver gets healthy, then we don't have to worry so much about what we come in contact with, because our liver is keeping up and it's flushing out everything that it was designed to do. So how do you drink coffee so that you're not filling your body with pesticides and chemicals every day? You drink organic coffee. You drink organic coffee and you get a really good creamer if you need creamer. On good points in my life, when I'm using maple syrup in my coffee, that's a great sweetener because it really does taste like creamer, but sometimes I get sick of it. So they make really good dairy-free oat milk, almond milk, cashew milk. They make really great creamers these days. And when I was pregnant, I was making my own creamer from soaking cashews, and that was awesome. The recipe is in the files section. I don't do that anymore. I'm waiting to get back to that. But use a good creamer. So you can drink your coffee as long as it's not laden with pesticides and chemicals, and you're not overloading your body every single day so that your liver never gets a chance to get ahead. Okay, Amy says, I've been drinking lemon water for about 2 months now, and it's crazy how my body does crave it. I was on meds for chronic fatigue, and I've almost gotten myself completely weaned off. Amy, am I right? Did you think that was going to happen? Because I didn't. I'm like, how am I ever going to crave celery juice? That's ridiculous. But you do. Once your body starts to respond, and you're like, holy shit, I feel so good. Amy was on medicine for fatigue, and now she's weaning herself off of it because she doesn't need it. And Amy, if you wouldn't mind, and hopefully I won't miss it, let us know, like, how quickly did you start to feel something when you first started the celery juice and the lemon water? Was it 2 days? Was it 2 weeks? Was it a month? Like, how quickly did that work? Then thank you for posting that. The more we can help each other with the feedback of what someone else is going through, what worked, what didn't work, the more we can help each other inside Minding Your Soul, the easier this is going to be for everybody. Again, inside the 4-month coaching program, we really do become a very close-knit community because we're all going through this together. And you get on these Zooms Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and you're like, oh, really? Yeah, this just happened for me. And everyone's like, and everyone celebrates everybody. So if you're not doing the 4-month program and you're doing it on your own, if you wouldn't mind, like, put your feedback in Minding Your Soul. Let everyone understand, because that was really good to know. She's weaning herself off of the fatigue medication. Wait, I'm scrolling and I shouldn't be. That's me by myself. Okay. So I just read that one. And Erica says, I have a Nama Nama Juicer I love. So easy. Awesome. We have a post. We should make another one. If you look up #juicer in Minding Your Soul, you'll see that post that someone said, like, what juicer does everybody use? And there's a whole bunch of good ones. We should do that again because I know that's old. So if you post about your juicer, if you would #juicer it, I don't know how you say it. The kids would probably yell at me if they heard me say that. Put a hashtag and then juicer so that we know how to look it up, and then we could all see everyone's comments on the juicer that they have. Oh, hey, Melissa. I found a great juicer on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace for a fraction of the original cost. Don't you love Marketplace? Oh, yeah, that's a great place to look, definitely. Because people they use them and they're like, it's not for me, and they get rid of them, and they're brand new and they're really cheap. Sarah says, I needed to hear this today and take it slow and take a break. I was heading towards that deep valley, but what you said makes so much sense. Yeah. And we don't know, you don't know unless someone tells you this is supposed to happen. Make sure you take a break, because inside our heads, we're going, this is it. This is it. I'm going to get worse. I'm never going to get better. Or I need to keep on going. I'm so weak. Other people can do this. I should just keep going. Now that you have the information, now you're like, oh, I'm feeling tired. This is a good thing. It means the virus is dying and it's coming out of my body, and my body's using up some energy to get that virus out. All right, let me take it a couple days. It lifts that pressure off of your mind, and it makes healing so much easier to know you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. Just keep going and your peak will come. Sorry. Okay. It was just a text. It's fine. It's nothing. All right. So Salita asks, how about if you are moderately intolerable to lemons per food tolerance test? Oh, I'm going to post about that. What the medical medium talks about is those food tolerance tests can be slightly misleading, because fruits and vegetables our bodies can tolerate. What happens is, hold on a second. What happens is specific fruits and vegetables, let's take lemons, kill off certain pathogens. It doesn't just clean out the body, it also kills off certain pathogens. Those pathogens, when they die, trigger an immune response as your body tries to release them. That immune response is what those allergy tests are testing for. So the lemon is going to kill a specific pathogen as, let's say, a different pathogen than, let's say, an apple would, or grapes would, or a kiwi would. The specific pathogen, we're going to talk about more about this when we talk about superheroes tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow or Friday. I'm sorry. I think it's tomorrow or Friday, but we're going to talk about superheroes this week, the antioxidants. Depending on which pathogen that fruit or vegetable kills will trigger the immune response, right? Just to make sure it gets that dead pathogen out of your body and take care of it. That's what's going to trigger the allergy test. So it's not actually the lemon that is the problem. It is the pathogen that the lemon is killing that's registering on those tests. Again, I'm not a doctor and I can't say, don't listen to those tests. Just keep doing the lemons. What I'm here to do is to give you the information that I've come across so that you can make the decision on what to do on your own. So I hope that helps. And remind me, actually, I'm going to write it down to post the allergy article so you can read more about it, because he really does explain it well. I'm glad you posted that, because I'm sure a lot of people are having that question. Oh, Ginger, thank you. Good point. You can use limes instead. So you're right. So you know what? If the lemons were not good and the limes were good, Ginger, thank you so much. Use the limes. I'm glad you're here. Erica, if people are mobile, a rebounder, right? A rebounder to get that lymphatic system moving. Yeah, that's what she said. Great for lymphatic system. I do it daily. Oh, that's awesome. Because yeah, it's got to move and it's got to get out. I remember one of the very first clients I worked with, I was like, oh, you know what? I just read about a rebounder. Why don't you try that? She's like, Janine, I've tried everything. I just don't feel good. I feel sluggish. So we talked about the rebounder, and she called me back later on that day. She goes, I can't believe how quickly that worked. She goes, I was on the rebounder literally a minute, and she said, and I had a bowel movement. She goes, and I had such a great bowel movement that I feel like I have so much more energy now. Whatever that did, it flushed it through. So that rebounder, it's amazing. It's powerful. I don't know why I don't have one. I do try to go for walks every day. Now that's nice out, but it's hard in the winter. All right. Martha asks, am I crazy, or does my urine smell like an iron smelter? It makes me think my heavy metal detox shake is doing its job. Didn't know if worried for cause. No, absolutely. Urine is going to smell different, especially while you're detoxing. You're going to have all these different smells, not only coming out of your urine, but also coming out of your bowel movements. And your bowel movements aren't going to be pretty. So if they are pretty right now, which is, I know you're laughing right now, but I found like my bowel movements, I have made them very pretty over the years, because they used to be awful. They used to be very dark. They used to be sometimes very hard, like little tiny balls would come out, and maybe one if I was lucky. What you want them to be is one piece. You want it to be that nice, not light, not too dark brown, one piece that is kind of formed in like an S shape in the bottom of the toilet. Sorry, we're talking about shit again. But That's a beautiful poop, right? So let's say you have beautiful poops right now and you start drinking the celery juice and they're all broken up and weird and you're like, oh, is this even good for me? Yes, it is. It's all the crap that was stuck inside your body that the celery juice is helping to get out. And like I said, if that virus is not in your gut, and it's not only going to be in your gut, if it's in your gut at all, it's going to be in your organs. And when it's in your organs, it uses your excretory system to leave your body, which is your pee and your poop. So your pee is going to smell weird. Your poop's going to look weird for a little while. And that's what detoxing is. And as long as we know that, we don't have to be scared of what's happening in the toilet. We don't have to be scared of getting a little bit more tired before we hit that peak. So I hope no one was thinking that I was going to give you like this magic pill and to say, here, take this and you're going to feel energy tomorrow. I try to be I am as realistic as humanly possible to let you know that, yeah, the fatigue level is going to go down and then it's going to go up, and it's going to go up even higher than it was before. And then it's going to go down and then it's going to go up. Not only does this process work like this, the lemon water and the celery juice with the peaks and the valleys, but everything in this protocol, everything in healing, everything that you do to your body, whether it's physically or emotionally, everything comes in peaks and valleys. My daughter's going through a broken heart right now, and she's seeing that it's coming up in waves. It comes up in waves, and the more she lets it out, the better she feels after. But that doesn't mean that wave doesn't come again. And then she goes through this emotional healing. She's going through emotional healing right now because of the breakup. I'm not supposed to say anything. So, but it's a really good example of the peaks and the valleys that we go through. We go through it physically when we're healing. Healing is never a straight line. And people say healing isn't linear. Well, what the hell does that mean? It means that when you start healing, you don't go, I feel better today. I feel even better today. And I feel even better. No, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, nothing does. You feel better. And then you get into your valley, and then you go into your peak, and then you go into your valley and your peak. And it's your job, because only you can tell how you feel and when to take breaks. It's your job to know when to take a break and to talk yourself through that valley, because I'll tell you what, that is the most emotional thing, especially in the beginning. If you're not working with somebody who can say, don't worry, it's detoxing, give yourself a couple days, back off the celery juice, continue with the lemon water, and give yourself a couple days and you will feel better. You just need that reassurance, or at least I did. That's exactly why I do and why I do what I do and how I do it, because this is exactly what I would have wanted when I was going through the healing journey. All of this shit I had to learn on my own. And it took me 10 years. It took me so long to learn all this stuff. And so I have packed it into this protocol to make it easy, explain the peaks and valleys, and make it not only easy like physically in our physical world, but easy emotionally too, because those valleys could be really hard when we think we're getting worse and then we stop. When we're not actually getting worse, we're actually getting better. But detoxing never feels good. That's why we mitigate it and we go low into those valleys. I mean, we don't go so low into those valleys. We make those valleys nice and short, and then we have a lot of peaks. All right. I want to get into the heavy metal detox smoothie next, because that is very important to understand. Did I miss? Oh, Sheila, how long after lemon water and celery juice can you eat breakfast? Great question. Okay, so we're getting to that in just a second with the heavy metal detox smoothie. But the quick answer, just in case I go off on a tangent again, 20 minutes. Just wait 20 minutes. Let the stuff do its thing. So 20 minutes after the lemon water, do your celery juice. 20 minutes after your celery juice, then do something else, whether it's coffee, heavy metal detox smoothie, breakfast, whatever it is. Give your body at least like 20 minutes. So I know when I would like go and I would do my lemon water, like right now, here's my process right now. I make the lemon water. I make Julie's lemon water, make her some waffles for breakfast, get her off to school while I'm driving her. So I make the lemon water and the celery juice. I throw the celery juice in the refrigerator. Finish getting ready, get her in the car with my lemon water. I drive her to school while I'm drinking my lemon water. Then when I get back into the house, I drink my celery juice and then start getting ready while I'm drinking my celery juice. Don't fit your life into this protocol. I think that's some really good advice. Don't fit your life into the protocol. You fit the protocol into your life. You go, where can I fit this in? Where do I have the space right now? Because you can't overhaul your life. You can't make everything different. Small changes, little by little, add up to a huge change. All right, I just missed a big one. Oh, Chrissy, thank you. Okay, Chrissy's the herbalist in the group. She said, herbalist here in the group, coffee alternative is amazing and offers wonderful health benefits. Can we please talk about that more in the group? Because I did love the mud water. At one point when I was off the coffee, there's so many great coffee alternatives out there. The mud water was too expensive. I wasn't about to spend that every month, even though it's delicious. So I was like, all right, let me use the Dandy blend and see if I could add spices to that to make it taste like mud water. So I called it, I experimented with it when I had all this free time, when I was pregnant. So I experimented with the recipe. It came out so friggin' good. And I put it in the file section. I called it Jacked Up Dandy Blend because the base was Dandy Blend. But any other coffee alternatives that are really good, please post them. And if you're looking to get off coffee, use a coffee alternative. It really does help, and wean yourself off the caffeine. And Chrissy, anything that you can post in the group about coffee alternatives and how to wean off more easily, I think that would be a really great conversation to start. Yeah, Martha, you answered the question about how long after lemon water and celery juice. Said 15 to 30 minutes, even better. The longer you can wait, the better. 15 minutes is like, try to wait at least 15 minutes, right? The longer, the better. So that's a great answer. Thank you. Okay, Harris, okay. Oh, I think Amy's answering the question. The first 6 or 7 weeks. Remember when I asked her about the celery juice and she said she's getting off of her fatigue medication a little bit ago? I asked her, I'm like, so how long was it before you started feeling the effects? And she said the first 6 or 7 weeks was like a roller coaster, right? With the peaks and the valleys. But we were doing it without any direction. Then we had a one-on-one with you and talked about the peaks and the valleys, and I learned to stop when my body was flipping out. I still have lots of questions and need more direction, which is why I'm here. Yeah, it's a learning curve, right? There's so much information. I try to pack it all in this 1 week. Amy, I'm so glad you said that. It really does help to know what is going on when you're in that valley. So the more information that you could grab this week, and then at the end of this week, you may say, all right, I've got everything. I've done this a few times, this workshop, I'm going to go alone. Or you can do the 4-month coaching program, and that opens October 3rd, where you do it with a group of people. And I just changed my website because I was talking to somebody the other day, and she's like, Janine, I really love to do your coaching program. She's like, I can't afford those monthly payments. Like I'm not choosing not to give it to you. I honestly don't have it. I'm like, oh, I totally get it. Single parent for the longest time, I would have loved a program like this, but I couldn't do that either. What do you need? And I said, what if I do spread the payments over 12 months? I think it worked out to like 125. She's like, oh my God, I could totally do that. So I'm like, you know what? You're probably not the only one. So I broke it down. There's another payment plan on the website that you can pay over 12 months because honestly, it's not about the money. It's about the healing. We need to heal as many people as possible to get the word out so that when you're healed, you're going to get the word out and you're going to start helping other people heal, or at least to know that healing is possible. And that's how we're going to end the suffering. We're going to end the suffering. No one should have MS. No one should have any autoimmune disease, and no one should feel like they've been handed a death sentence and can't raise their children and been told, we'll just be happy with the wheelchair. At least no one dies from MS. It's ridiculous. We're here on this earth to live, and what you're capable of if you weren't in this sick, painful body. Those were the thoughts that were going through my head. I know what I'm freaking capable of. I know what I can do. I just need the body to do it. This is going to give it to you. So it's not about the money. If you need it broken out in 12 months, it's there. It's on the website. Let's just get healthy. Let's just get healthy and start living the life, because I had no idea what was on the other side of healing. I had no idea. I thought I knew what I wanted. Right. But what I got on the other side of healing was so much more and so much better than I could have ever imagined. And I know until you're there, you can't really feel it. But I just want to give you a glimpse. Whatever you're thinking you're capable of, you're going to do that and so much more on the other side of healing. So now that you know you just have a virus, let's figure out how to kill it, how to target the fucker, kill it, and get it out of your body so that you could start living your life. All right. I know. Heavy metal detox smoothie. We're talking about that in just a second. What time is it? Oh my God, it's already 1:00. That's insane. Okay. We're talking about juicers. Oh, thanks, Quinn. I'm seriously so happy I found you in this group. The literal shit talk, the realism. Yeah, no. Like I said to somebody yesterday in one of the comments, I was like, I try so hard not to swear when I'm doing a live or in the comments, but I feel like sometimes there's just no better word to describe what I'm trying to say. And I just, this is me. So if you don't like the swear words, just tell me and I will try to do better. But if you're coaching with me, they come out, they fly. All right. Nancy says, can anyone give advice to help me get rid of toe fungus? My body is too weak to fight MS and this. You know what? I've got some great news. The reason why I'm smiling when you said toe fungus is because I know somebody who had severe toe fungus. Once they started the protocol, their nails began to grow out healthy. So the nail was growing and it was all yellow and it was long and it was thick and it was hard because that's what the fungus does. When they started the protocol, they're not even through it. They're just beginning to heal. As the body heals, it doesn't just kill the Epstein-Barr virus. What this protocol does is it heals everything in your body, including the toe fungus. So her nails started to grow out healthy from the bottom, and they're about half or almost halfway now of healthy nail. It just begins. So there's not one specific thing. I'm sure there are antifungals that you can buy, but if you want to heal it from the inside out, this is absolutely going to do it. So when you say you don't have it in you to fight MS and this, you don't have to. You're fighting one thing. You're fighting the virus. That's it. That virus is responsible for all the other shit going on in your body. Once you kill that virus, your immune system doesn't have to fight 24/7 anymore. Your immune system now has the energy not only to cool you off and to heat you up, like heat intolerance and cold intolerance. Your body not only has the energy to do that, but it has the energy to do all the other little things that have taken a back seat, that are on the back burner right now because your body just doesn't have the energy to do it. Your immune system right now is fighting that virus 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's where the fatigue is coming from. As soon as you start drinking that celery water and flushing out with that lemon juice and the lemon water and celery juice, as soon as you start bringing down that viral load, your immune system is going to thank you so much and go, oh my God, I needed a break. That virus just kept growing and getting worse and worse, and there was nothing I could do anymore. I'm exhausted. That's what your immune system, I think, is saying. All right, so Sarah says, amen, we're going to end the suffering. I'm a registered nurse, but on medical leave and changing, I had to hit more, see more, and changing my course of nursing to help people like us who have suffered for years. You have a great platform. Absolutely. Heal yourself, teach others how to do it. There was a holistic doctor in the group, and she's like, I could use this for, yes, please do. Again, why I don't charge for this information. It's not my information. This is information that I have found over 10 years. I'm getting excited. Hold on. It's information that I have gathered over 10 years from all different sources. Yes, from the books. Yes, from the internet. Tested on myself. Was the guinea pig. All of this information needs to be taught in school. We need to teach our children this information. We need to keep passing it down until it becomes mainstream in the medical industry, which who knows when that's going to be. But as long as we know it and we can teach other people this information, we can end the suffering. So use whatever platform you have to get this information out to people. And think about this. Think about coaching. Think about doing what I'm doing. No, I'm not. I'm not registered. I'm not certified. I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who healed from MS, got it in a nice little system, and is sharing it with everybody. And if everyone would do that, we would spread so quickly. We would spread this information and no one would have to suffer. All right, let's get to that heavy metal detox smoothie. All right, so we've got the morning process down. 20 minutes later, you could either do coffee or you could do breakfast, or what I do. The next part of the protocol is the heavy metal detox smoothie. So tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to be talking about food, right? I don't know. One of these days this week, we're going to be talking about food. When we talk about food, we'll be talking about the gluten, the dairy, and the eggs, the food sources that feed the virus. There's another food source, and it's the heavy metals. And unfortunately, if you live on this planet, you come into heavy metals. There's nothing you can do about it. It's everywhere. It's in the pipes where our water comes through. It's in the pots and pans. It's in chemical, it's in fragrances. It's in shampoos. Like, it's in the air. So there's heavy metals everywhere, but it's okay. Our liver can get rid of it. Our livers are absolutely capable. That's what we're doing. We're helping our liver be capable of getting all of this out. But right now, we're overloaded because no one gave us the information of how to get this shit out of us. So these heavy metals accumulate in our system. What happens? Why are they so dangerous? Not only are they a food source for the virus, because remember yesterday we talked about the myelin. Let's say this is myelin in your body. The myelin is rubber coating that's in your brain and in your spinal column. There's a column of myelin, and also the way your nerves conduct energy is through, picture Tic Tacs, picture white Tic Tacs. That's what I do, in a line. That the impulses for your nerves run across those Tic Tacs, and that's how they're able to conduct energy. When one of those Tic Tacs can't conduct energy, the signal is cut off, right? Why isn't it able to conduct energy? And we'll talk about detours another time this week, not today, because that's going to take too long. Detours. I think that's on Friday. All right. So one of those tic tacs are your myelin. Okay. They're coating the nerves and allowing the signals to jump along those tic tacs. Myelin, that's the tic tac, the white part. That is the rubbery coating. The heavy metals that accumulate in our body love the myelin. They reside on the myelin. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Hold on. The Epstein-Barr virus loves to feed on the heavy metals. So they feed on the heavy metals. Now they're feeding on the heavy metals. Your immune system is attacking the Epstein-Barr virus. There's a lot of shit going on in this myelin right here. So it's no wonder that a scar is going to be created underneath all of that havoc that's going on between the erosion from the heavy metals, because they oxidize, literally rust. They literally rust inside of our body. That's oxidative stress. When they say you have oxidative stress, they're literally talking about the rust that's going on inside of your body. So that's what's causing the signal to not get through. What we want to do is remove the heavy metals so that as we're killing the virus, we're also removing that food source and allowing our bodies to heal. So how do we remove the heavy metals? Well, through the foods that we eat. There's specific foods that you can eat that are going to work together like a football team. And I know I say it every time. I don't think I know anything about football, because I don't. All I know is that everyone's got to work together to get the ball from one end to the other end. That's it. That's all I know. So all of the foods in this heavy metal detox smoothie, like we put it in a smoothie and we drink it down. You don't have to. You could eat the food separately. So it's also in the protocol, the Starve Kill Detox protocol that is online that you can purchase separately. But you could also just Google heavy metal detox smoothie medical medium. He'll give you the entire recipe and where to get everything. So all of those ingredients, it's wild blueberries, and they have to be wild. Wild blueberries are very different from regular conventional blueberries, even organic. So many people say, yeah, but mine are organic, which is great, but they need to be wild. They have to be wild blueberries. It's a different animal than a conventional blueberry. It's much smaller, and they have a completely different profile of antioxidants. So wild blueberries, bananas, an orange or orange juice, that's the sugar that's going to get everything where it needs to go. Barley grass juice powder. And don't worry about the barley. It's barley grass. It's not actually barley, because barley does have gluten in it. Barley grass juice powder, spirulina, and Atlantic dulse, and that's seaweed. Don't worry. You use very little and you hide the flavor. You can add anything else that you want. It's not like celery juice. You don't have to drink it just plain. You can add whatever you want to it. A lot of people don't like the, and cilantro. Sorry, cilantro, that's the other ingredient. You put that all in a smoothie, you drink it down. That is going to safely remove the heavy metals. Some people ask, well, I do this for heavy metals. I don't know everything about all the products that are out there for removing heavy metals. All I know is that the way the medical medium describes why this smoothie is different and how it works safely made sense to me. It was very logical. So he said that different things, different foods, pick up different heavy metals, and they're able to carry them just so far in the body. There's not one thing that can pick up all of the heavy metals and move them all through your body safely. The one example I remember him talking about was chlorella. Chlorella is able to pick up some heavy metals, but then it drops it somewhere in your body because it's not able, I don't know how, but it's not able to carry it safely through your body into your excretory system so that you pee and you poop it out. So it drops it. Wherever it drops it is now going to create a different problem for you. So those ingredients that I just discussed, if you eat them within a 24-hour period, they're all going to work together. If you put them in a smoothie, great. If you add more things to that smoothie to make the taste better, because some people want to hide that cilantro flavor, I tell them put a pineapple in the smoothie. They're going to really cover up that flavor. Or I would say take the cilantro out and eat it separately, because I like to do that. I don't like the cilantro in there either, but I like the taste of cilantro. I just don't like it in the smoothie. So I'll eat the cilantro later. But I like the taste of cilantro. If you don't like the taste of cilantro, reduce the cilantro. It calls for a cup. Reduce that by maybe a half a cup and hide the flavor with like a pineapple. So this is going to safely remove the heavy metals, because all of those ingredients pick up different heavy metals. Some do aluminum, some do copper, some do cadmium. Is that one of them? Yeah, I think it is. And what they do is they all work together at their jobs to pick up what they need to pick up throughout the whole body. And where one can only carry some so far, the other one goes, I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what? You're at the lungs. You got a long way to go. Let me take it. It takes the load and it moves it further. And then maybe it could only go this far, and where the barley grass juice powder will go, you know what? You only made it to the stomach. You're so close, but you're not there. I'll get you the rest of the way. And then it takes it the rest of the way. So that's why taking all of those ingredients together in a 24-hour period or in a smoothie is the easiest, safest, best tasting way to get all of those heavy metals out of you in a very gentle way. Now, I thought it was very interesting. When I was pregnant last year, I was concerned about detoxing because when you detox, normally a detox uses your bloodstream and you detox through your bloodstream. And when you're pregnant, your blood goes through the placenta and goes right into the baby. So I was like, I can't do this. So I looked up, and what the medical medium says is that this works so safely and gently. It bypasses your bloodstream. It works right in your excretory system. It works inside your body, bypassing the bloodstream, safely carries it out. So you're not going to get these crazy detox symptoms of like, dizziness or lightheadedness. It doesn't affect your bloodstream at all. It's very safe. It's very gentle. However, it's very powerful. So there are side effects. When I first started this, the heavy metal detox smoothie, the celery juice alone gave me the diarrhea, and I also broke out in like little red bumps, little pimples, right? And we'll talk. I have so much to talk about. I want to talk about eczema too this week. Eczema. Okay. I broke out into little red pimples everywhere. I was ugly for a couple weeks until my body got most of it out, and then it started to clear up. I'm like, great, now it's time to start the heavy metal detox smoothie. I broke out again, but these were different. These were whiteheads all over my body, mainly on my chest, my neck, my face, of course, where people can see them. And of course, it was in the summer when I started this. So be mindful that when you're removing anything, when you're detoxing anything, your skin is your biggest organ. You're going to detox through your skin. You're going to get skin irritations. A lot of pathogens and a lot of heavy metals are dermatoxins, which when they're coming out, they're going to affect our skin. So skin rashes are normal. Eczema and psoriasis are all the dead virus coming out of the body. They used to think it was a gluten allergy. They still think it's a gluten allergy. Well, the holistic doctors know that it's a gluten allergy, but it's not actually the gluten. It's the virus feeding on the gluten that causes the eczema and the psoriasis. Just like when the virus feeds on the heavy metals, it poops out a kind of waste that is now supercharged, and depending on what concoction of heavy metals that virus ate and digested and pooped out is going to determine the skin rash. Did you get that? We all have different concoctions of heavy metals in our body. We don't all have the same ratio of heavy metals in our bodies. Some have more lead, some have more mercury. We all have a different recipe inside of us of these heavy metals. When the virus eats whatever recipe of heavy metals you have in your body, that's what's going to determine the kind of dermatoxin that's going to affect your skin. And there's no way of knowing this. The only way of knowing it is looking at your skin, looking at the rash and going, oh, okay, now I know it's coming out through my skin. So if you do start getting skin rashes, just understand and know that that is a detox symptom. That is a dermatoxin. The dead corpse of the virus is coming out of your body and it's using your skin. And don't forget your lymphatic system, when it's pulling away all of the waste from all of your cells, your lymphatic system, the vein, the network of veins is located right below your skin. So when you're detoxing and your lymphatic system is working overtime, it is going to come out through your skin. So that's a good thing to know. One other thing, if you can't eat bananas, can you sub apples? As long as the apples have a good sugar content. The bananas have a good sugar content, and the sugar is what actually carries the nutrients where they need to go. That was a question, by the way, in case anyone thought I lost my mind. And I can't see who it was because I didn't look on my phone. It was just, okay, well, that's the question. So if you can't eat banana, can you sub apples? Yeah, but you need the sugar. So just make sure it's not a green apple, because a green apple doesn't have, I don't think it has any sugar. Make sure it has a high sugar content. You want sugary fruits. You want that fructose, because the fructose is actually the taxi cab that takes the nutrients throughout your body where they need to go. I didn't know that either. I thought it was very interesting. But timing now. So the heavy metal detox smoothie can be taken at any time of the day. You don't have to take it in the morning. You don't have to take it on an empty stomach. Like I said, you can either put it in a smoothie or you can eat all of those ingredients within a 24-hour period, and they're all going to work together to remove the heavy metals. The reason why I do it in the morning is because being gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free, breakfast is really freaking hard, as most of you know. So I use the heavy metal detox smoothie as my breakfast. This way I get it in every day. And sometimes I even add a scoop of protein. And I love to say this. Sometimes before I go to the gym, I add a scoop of protein, and that's like my pre-workout. Yeah, I haven't been to the gym since I was pregnant. I'm getting back there. So when I do go back to the gym, I will be adding the scoop of protein. Or sometimes when I'm just a little bit more hungry and I want a scoop of protein in there. Yeah, I do that too. But you can add whatever you want to that. Now, here's another concept. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, which is why this is being recorded and you can watch this over and over again because it is a lot of information. Shit, I have a 1:30 consultation and it's 1:20. Okay. One more thing that I want to talk about is, okay. I just got a little sidetracked. All right. I have 10 minutes. This is an important part. Remember when I told you about your liver and it was detoxing in the morning, right? It wakes up before you do, it detoxes in the morning, and then it continues to detox until you eat something. When you eat a protein, a fat, or a grain, the liver has to stop detoxing and it has to process what you just ate and do its job, its other job. So what I try to do in the morning, and you don't have to do this, and I don't do this all the time, if I can keep my liver detoxing for as long as possible, great. I'm just giving my liver more help. If I don't have to eat a protein, a fat, or a grain, I know that my liver is going to keep on detoxing, and I'm just giving it that much more help. So lemon water, celery juice, heavy metal detox smoothie. Don't forget your coffee with the creamer. That's going to be a fat, and it's also going to be sugar. So fat, protein, grain, sugar is going to stop the liver from detoxing, which is fine. It's going to stop detoxing anyway. So the longer you can let it go, great. But if you can't let it go for too long, that's fine too. I don't want you to think, oh no, I eat protein in the morning. If you eat protein in the morning, keep eating your protein in the morning. I'm just giving you this. If you want to take something to the next, if you want to take this detoxing to the next level, then just know that your liver will continue detoxing until you eat a protein, a fat, or a grain, or sugar. Processed sugar, not the fructose sugar. So that's why I do the lemon water, the celery juice, coffee with maple syrup, because that's a natural sugar, and then the heavy metal detox smoothie. And then that usually gets me till about noon or 1 o'clock. And then I start eating my food. Do I do that every day? No. Do I do that on good days? Yes, those are my good days. So I don't want you to think, oh no, I messed, no, you're not messing up. So just to review, I know I got to wrap this up. I really thought today was going to be the quick one too. So you're going to do the lemon water in the morning to help your liver push out all the toxins that it just pulled out through the night. Wait about 20 minutes. So that's a half a lemon, 16 ounces of water, about. Wait 20 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you can do, but at least like 15 minutes. Then drink your 16 ounces of celery juice. Work up to your 16 ounces of celery juice. Work up to that. Don't start right away. Then wait 20 minutes and then go about your morning, whether it's coffee or the heavy metal detox smoothie. Very important. I hope everyone is still on here to listen to this. And I should probably type it in the email tonight. When you start the lemon water and the celery juice, do that for a couple of weeks. In our 4-month program, we're there for a month. We are there for a month knowing how that affects the body, because we need to know what to take a break from. Right? It's all about taking breaks and letting that body catch up again and experience that higher peak. If you were to start the lemon water, the celery juice, the heavy metal detox smoothie all at once, and you're like, oh my God, I need to take a break. From what? From the heavy metal detox? From the celery juice? You don't know. You have to know how each thing affects your body before moving on to the next thing. So 1 month, I would say, at least 3 weeks, stick with your lemon water and your celery juice, much longer if you want to know exactly how that's affecting your body before moving on to the heavy metal detox smoothie, because you are going to get symptoms, different symptoms. I'm not saying they're going to be terrible, but they're going to be different detox symptoms from the heavy metal detox smoothie than you're going to get from the celery juice. You want to know what's causing what before you introduce something new. Once you get a handle on your lemon water and your celery juice and you know exactly how that's affecting you, then move on and add the heavy metal detox smoothie and stay there for a couple weeks before you do anything different. Okay. So that's very important. Now, I do have a couple minutes before my 1:30 consultation. So I just want to go through some of these questions and answer them while we're live. So, I want to understand how it works for different people. I want to understand how celery juice works for different people. This is why the group is so good, because it does work so differently for different people. Some people feel it right away. Some people feel it after 2 weeks. Some people get diarrhea. Some people get no diarrhea. There's a whole host of different things, which is why that 4-month group is so great to do with other people. But we have the Minding Your Soul group. So you can always post your comments in there and look for feedback. People love to give their feedback because they realize how helpful it was for them. Tamara asks, why do we have to be vegan? Oh my goodness, you totally don't. Yeah, no, you don't have to be vegan here. I enjoy a burger. I think you might have heard me talk about being vegan because my daughter, and she's not completely vegan. I just call it vegan and she yells at me all the time. No, she doesn't eat meat for like 4 years now because she has the whole thing about not eating animals. Totally get it. When I cook for her, when I cook for the family, it's just easier not to include meat. And I've gotten to really like it. Never in my life did I think I would be eating tofu as much as I am, but I am. No, you definitely don't have to be vegan to be in this. Let me finish reading your question now. Wool's protocol isn't, right? Or is it just different for everyone? I really think this is wonderful, Janine. I do believe everything you're saying. Just fantastic. Tamara, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm sorry if I gave off that impression that you have to be vegan. No, eat the meat. Meat is great for you. It's protein. If you don't want to eat the meat, don't eat the meat. I give the guidelines. The most important thing here that we're doing in this group is killing a virus. We have to kill a virus by removing its food sources, right? Gluten, dairy, eggs, heavy metals. Remove those things. Don't eat those things. And we get very creative about making sure that we keep our comfort foods, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free. And we get that heavy metal detox smoothie in every day. We use the celery juice to kill it on contact, the virus, and the lemon water to flush everything out. But meat, I tell you what, I'll definitely do a good burger every now and then. Five Guys and fries with the burger, with the lettuce wrap, with the fries that are only fried with potatoes, like nothing else is in there, so there's no cross-contamination. If you don't have a Five Guys and fries near you, you need to find one. Right, am I missing any? Where do I buy wild blueberries? Best place, Quinn will tell you, because he was paying a lot where he was going, and the whole group was like, dude, Walmart. Walmart has the best price on the wild blueberries. You can pretty much get them in a lot of different grocery stores. Amazon is price gouging, so check prices, because you're going to end up paying, like Quinn was paying, I think, what'd you say, Quinn, like $15, $20 a bag. They come in 3-pound bags. So you're going through like a cup or more a day. So it gets expensive. So get the best price. And so far we have found Walmart has the best price. Joanne just said the same thing. Yeah. Most grocery stores, also Walmart. The Wylands frozen blueberries are at Walmart. Yes, they are. That's where I get them a lot. I'm allergic to iodine. Can I take something else in its place? Why do you have to take iodine? I'm going to do a little bit more research on that, but why do you have to take it? If you're allergic to it, why do you have to take it? That would be my question. Joanne says you can also use Wyman's blueberry powder if you can't find the blueberries. Yes, in a pinch. You can in a pinch. Don't rely on it though. Don't be like, oh, I prefer the powder. If you can get the blueberries, get the blueberries. You want the live enzymes in those blueberries. Which protein to add? Well, whatever good protein you want to add. I don't recommend a protein. I used to sell Isagenix, and so I really like that brand, though it's expensive as shit. I know Costco has a good one. Read the ingredient label. Make sure there's no shit in it. Make sure there's no artificial sweeteners, colors, flavors. Make sure there's nothing artificial in there, and find yourself a good undenatured, plant-based protein. So I know Costco has a good one. Isagenix has a good one. Post in the group if anyone has any recommendations, but I don't recommend one specific one. Just find a good one that doesn't have any shit in it. Yeah, see now the curses are just flying out of my mouth. What time is it? 1:28. Crap. I got to go. I have a 1:30 consultation. But I'm going to get back to these. Why eggs? Just curious. Oh, God, I got to answer that one. All right, because eggs feed the virus. Eggs directly feed the virus. I don't know how old you are. I'm 44 years old. Back when I had my first 2 kids that are 16 and 19 now, when they got vaccinated, the doctors would always say, do you have an egg allergy? Nope. Okay, good. If you did have an egg allergy, you had to get a certain other type of vaccine. Does anyone else remember that? That's because they put eggs in the vaccine. They don't do that anymore because they've learned. They put eggs in the vaccine back then because that's what keeps viruses alive. All viruses feed on eggs. I know it sucks. we always thought they were such a clean, easy protein, but they directly feed the virus, and they feed it pretty powerfully. And I think you're going to notice a huge difference when you remove eggs from your diet. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news because I know it's so hard. Quinn says, yeah, he was paying like $20 a bag of those wild blueberries. So definitely go to Walmart. They're much cheaper. I think you could probably get them for like 12 or 14 there. Quinn, thank you for that. Salita, how do you get used to the sore throat from the lemon water? Maybe I'm using too much lemon water. Yeah, back off a little bit. If it's irritating your throat, definitely back off a little bit. If a half a lemon is too much, just do it so it's in there, right? So you're getting it in there and then maybe build up from it. But if it's irritating your throat, please. Iodine in seaweed. All right. I know nothing about that because I never had an iodine issue with me or any of the clients. So let me research that. Iodine. Hold on. Let me write that down. Iodine. Who was that? Hold on. Oh, it was Maureen. Okay. Maureen. Oh, is that Maureen Kenny? Oh, Maureen. Okay. You're the one. It's so funny. I just got my Zoom notification that we have a consultation at 1:30. If you wouldn't mind, stick with me for 5 more minutes. Let me just answer some more of these questions, and then we're going to switch over to that Zoom. And I might not even need 5 more minutes. Tamara said she's 56. Okay, so if you have kids, you remember those vaccines with those eggs, that question. So eggs directly feed the virus, directly. You don't want to eat the eggs. Don't eat the eggs. I know. Quinn's is like, you got to go. She's so passionate. I didn't want to miss any questions because it's so much easier to like talk and say it rather than type the whole thing because I never know how I'm coming off. Someone just slammed the garage door. Sorry. I know. All right. I got to go. This is going to be recorded. So as long as you're registered for the workshop, that just means that I have your email address. Then you'll get the email tonight and then you can rewatch it, take notes or whatever, or pass it on to somebody who you think might like this information. Okay, Maureen, I'm going to meet you over on Zoom. Give me like 3 minutes. I just have to run to the bathroom and I will meet you over there. All right, guys. Great to see you. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I wish I knew exactly what we were talking about tomorrow, but I think it's the superheroes. All right. Well, we have the schedule. I'll post about it tomorrow too. Great talking to everyone. Thank you so much for participating. I had so much fun today and I will see you tomorrow, same time, 12 o'clock. Bye, everyone.